And a good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Issues and Attitudes. My name is Jeff Owens, General Manager at WEIU. Today we're going to be talking Red, White, and Blue Days 2023 in Charleston. My guests are Betty Coffrin. How are you, Betty?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Good to see you. Gary Grounds.
Correct.
Gary Grounds is what's your actual title there? The Charleston American Legion?
I'm post commander.
Post Commander? Okay.
Yes.
We're glad to have you here. We're supposed to have Z here, but no Z today. So
No Z today. He's in an airport someplace.
So that's all right. We don't want to see Z anyway. No, I'm just kidding. Well, I guess we'll talk about this in general. It's kind of seems like the summer's just here. Red, White, and Blue Days is coming. Everything else that's going to happen this summer. So talk about, you say there's been a busy morning already.
Well, it has been busy. We booked an act for the 4th, but we'll talk about that in a minute. But just details, parade entries and that sort of thing. And we're just having a great time. It's going to be a good event this year.
Okay, and it's July. It starts earlier than July. June 29th, it actually begins with the Charleston Community Band and the Patriotic Salute out at Kiwanis Park. That kicks off Red, White, and Blue Days?
That's their Patriotic Salute, and that's the beginning of our Red, White, and Blue Days week or weekend, whatever. This year is different because it happens July 1, 2, 3, 4, and we're rolling.
And Gary, you're going to do something really cool. There's a new monument out there, so I won't steal your thunder. Just talk
Correct.
about that.
Well, about what would you say, 6 months ago, something like that, we decided to have a community project and try to put up a monument, another monument in Morton Park, and we got that job done, and it's already up. But we're gonna pay tribute to it on the 4th. But it's really a nice piece of artwork. They did a great job on it. Adams Memorial's done it, and it's a beautiful piece of artwork. It's a beautiful addition to Charleston and a beautiful addition to Morton Park, I might add.
Where's it at exactly at Morton Park?
It's right at the bell.
Okay.
There was a monument there, but it was just for Iraq and Kuwait, and we wanted to have one that honored everyone that served. And this monument actually is a little unique too, because I was told that this is the first monument in this area to have the new Space Force represented on it. Right.
That's it. That is cool.
Yeah,
It is cool.
Now, how are you? I don't know what all you can tell me today, but how are you going to go through the dedication? Have speakers or a memoriam, or how?
We're not going to do, something that's real elaborate because of the fact that it's 4th of July and it's going to be so hot you won't be able to hardly stand there, So we're just going to thank a few people, and then I don't know whether we're going to do the normal presentation of the colors, the national anthem, and the 21-gun salute, and playing of the taps, and then it should be dedicated at that point.
Yeah, that's pretty much the plan. Yes.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Very short.
And that is, I'm looking at my dates. When are we doing that again?
That's on the 4th.
That is on July 4th.
Right
okay.
after the parade.
I didn't want to jump too far ahead, but I knew that with Gary here, I want to kind of touch base.
Yeah.
Now, I know one thing we got to touch on, and I don't want to touch on it, but we're missing an important part of Red, White, Blue Days in 2023. And he was here a year ago and full of energy and talking about it. And so just talk about the man we're missing.
The man we're missing today, of course, is Butch Hackett. He was, there's a history with this 4th of July committee because his dad was on their parents, mom and dad were both on the original committee that I was on. And Harold, his father, started the bingo game. Well, when Harold could no longer do it and then he passed, then Butch took it over. And Butch was just phenomenal, a great driving force. And he fell ill this year, and we lost him just a few months ago. And so now we're having a Butch Hackett Memorial Bingo game this week. This weekend, the 4th of July weekend, and we're going to carry on.
And that is July 2nd.
Yes.
You can win some cash, great prizes. It'll be at the Charleston VFW Banquet Room.
Yes.
And is it going to be permanently the Butch Hackett Memorial Bingo, or is this year?
I don't know. We'll just leave that up to basically the family. I mean, they were pretty. They didn't know if they. We'll just leave that up to them.
Okay, that's understandable.
Yeah.
So we'll go back and we've kind of covered the 29th as a community band, and then before that and that Butch Hackett Bingo is something the Red, White, and Blue Car and Bike Show. Talk about that.
Right. This is our 3rd year. Will be our 3rd year. And it's growing. A young couple came up and decided they would like to try that, and it's just been a great success, and they've got a lot of fun with it. The car and bike show, so it's cars and motorcycles and keeps growing every year. So it's just a nice addition.
And do they do that at the park as well then?
That's on the east side of Morton Park,
Okay.
and there will be a food vendor there. So anybody who wants to go to the car show and support the Hutton Masonic Lodge, I think will be there to sell food as well.
Okay. So that kind of takes us through June 29th through the 2nd. But then July 3rd, 4th, the big day. So let's go through the July 3rd, and we'll also July 4th, we'll finally get to announce the new music act that just got a name today. So
Yeah.
we'll tease you there again and go from there. But the vendors open at 3 on July 3rd. Just take us through that
Right.
day.
Well, vendors. And some of the food that we've got this year, I brought the list. Of course, I mentioned the Hutton Masonic Lodge. They're going to be there on the 3rd again as well. They do their pork chop sandwiches and pulled pork and that sort of thing. They've a great lineup of food for them. Charleston Kiwanis Club is new this year. They're coming back, and they're going to have some popsicles for sale. Knights of Columbus, bless their hearts, they've been with us since day one. Their hot dogs, lemon shake-ups, and corn on the cob. And Central Christian Church has been with us virtually the whole time. With kettle corn, caramel corn funnel cakes, and fried pickles, corn dogs, and shaved ice, and that sort of thing. So that, in addition to other, drink vendors, who have got a nice lineup of food, nice selection of food.
Oh, you can eat ice cream too? $3?
Oh, yes. Yeah, that's the committee's. That's one of our fundraisers, and all-you-can-eat ice cream. And Brenda does a fabulous job with getting different variety of flavors. And at $3, all you can eat, you get your hand stamped, and as long as you can stand in line and go through that line, you can eat ice cream all day.
All right, I know where Peyton's going to be that day. He's the one running the controls with Dennis in the other room. Joyful Bubbles, what is that? 4 to 6 on July 3rd.
Joyful Bubbles is an interactive bubble game. The kids can get their wands and bubbles and that sort of thing. Have fun with it. And I've seen them also stand in the middle of some place and have a bubble all around them. They're encased in a bubble. So, it's just an interactive bubble game for kids, and it's a lot of fun. Free.
And then that leads into the first free entertainment of the weekend, or I guess that's really July 3rd is a Monday, right?
Yeah.
It's hard to see.
I don't know.
On that Monday is Alex Miller at 6 o'clock. Tell us a little bit about what you know about Alex Miller.
Well, what I know about Alex is that he was on American Idol and did quite well. And that's where a lot of the newer acts are coming from, is these shows that we see on TV. From what I've seen from his tapes, I've not been to a concert or anything, but he's just a nice young entertainer. It's going to bring some nice variety.
And that's at 6 o'clock. Then he
Right.
finishes up around 7:30.
Mm-hmm.
And then you do the Coles County Farmer of the Year Award, right?
Right.
Can you tell us who that is?
No.
Every year she
Actually,
said-
honest to goodness, I don't know until that night.
I thought it was going to be me last year because I saw him out checking my tomatoes. So,
There you go. Well, then we'll go into for the Farmer of the Year. How's the process work? Do people get nominated? Do they nominate themselves?
Right.
or-
This is handled actually through the Charleston Chamber of Commerce and the Farm Bureau.
Okay.
So those two organizations take this on. They do everything. They get the nominations and that sort of thing, and they really are very good about keeping it quiet until that day. So
That's cool.
there you have it.
Sorry, Gary, you didn't win, I don't think.
Yeah. I'm
You never
sorry.
know, though. They're not letting us know.
Yeah.
I know I had a big tomato.
Then at 8 o'clock on July 3rd, that Monday night, the Monday night entertainment, Mr. Drake Milligan.
Mr. Milligan, yeah, and he was on America's Got Talent and
Yeah,
did quite
AGT,
well
yeah.
there. I think he made it through, clear up to the very last, one of the final finishes on America's Got Talent, and I really don't pay that much attention to it until it's somebody that I know. But he's a really energetic act. He was also on Country Music Network, CMT, Country Music Television, played young Elvis. And on that. So, and he's not an Elvis act. He's a nice variety entertainer.
Yeah, and I think he's also known that the girls like him.
Yeah, he's cute.
I think that's safe to say. I think is what we've heard a little bit. So nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
So that finishes up July 3rd, and then you're right back at it early July 4th. And actually, our morning show was talking about this morning, the 4-mile run and walk.
That's right. Habitat for Humanity has done this for several years. It's one of their major fundraisers, and they call it 4 on the 4th. And you can run, walk. People with baby carriages, it's quite an event for them to start their 4th of July off. And, it's a great cause to support Habitat for Humanity.
There you go. At 9 o'clock till noon is the chalk-in, so tell us about that.
Charleston area Coles County Area Arts Council. And they've done this for years. I mean, long before Red, White, Blue Days, I believe. You just sign up. You get there. It's an age category, so you get young artists, and they get their chalk and they get their square on the street, and they can just draw whatever they like, and it's judged by a panel of judges from the Arts Council.
That's cool. And then the pet parade, also about the same time. Everybody loves pet parades anymore.
That's right. And the pet parade is always fun. It's put on by the 4-H Dog Spin Club, however, and it's judged by the canine officer at Charleston Police Department. And they come up with some pretty unique prizes for these dogs or these pets or whatever. What I think is cute is it's not just dogs, it's anything. Dogs have to be on a leash. But we've had turtles in buckets, we've had pet pigs, we've had anything, but anything goes. And
even snakes?
I haven't seen a snake yet, but probably won't either.
A snake on a leash. How about a snake on a leash?
There you go, or in a basket.
Yeah.
But it's just a fun event for kids.
The games open up at 10 to 4 that day, inflatables and everything like
Right.
that. Fire hose fun, so that's always exciting.
Right. Yeah, the Charleston Fire Department's great to put out their fire hose there on Division Street, and kids just run through the hose and they just have a blast. The inflatable games, any number of things that are available there, slides and bounce houses and that sort of thing.
Food vendors open at 10 in the morning till 3.
Uh-huh.
The big parade is going through. You were working on that already this morning, so talk
We
about
were.
the parade route
Yeah.
and what people can do if they still want to get in.
If they want to get in the parade, there's a form online. They can go to City Hall, pick up a parade entry form, or they can call any of the numbers that are on there to, we'll just take entries by phone if that's the way we can get them, and we're going to have a nice parade, I think. The parade route, we start on the square. They start lining up at noon. The parade steps off at 1 o'clock. It goes down 6th Street to Polk Street, and then down Division alongside Morton Park, and disbands at O'Brien Field.
Okay, cool. And then at 2 o'clock, we bring Gary back in. That's when the bell ringing ceremony, which is always one of the highlights, have been highlights for years, and then the dedication of the new Veterans Memorial by American Legion, post '93. So, Gary, you'll be out there, and
I'll be out there,
and all your some of your other folks from the Legion will be out there,
right? And also the VFW will be out there also.
Okay. And it's a brand new memorial that's already out, but it'll be dedicated officially on July 4th at Red, White, and Blue Days this year, so that's pretty exciting. All right, so everybody's been kind of waiting, because after the bell ringing and the dedication of the new Veterans Memorial by Gary and his gang, that we didn't know what the band or the group or the entertainment was going to be, and now we know. So
now we know. Yeah, we're going to have the Moondogs with us. They're going to be in the Southeast Pavilion, the Reynolds Pavilion, and just a little more activity in the afternoon. The stage area where the entertainers are on the night of the 3rd is just in such a sunny, hot area. This is going to be in the shade. There's going to be in a pavilion. There'll be room for people to dance if they want to. I'm really excited because I like the Moondogs and all the people in it. A nice variety of music.
It's a variety, and they're some of them are from around here. Am I correct? Yeah.
Yes, by all means.
So that'll be kind of neat. So the Moondogs, they'll be the 2:15 or 2:30, depending on how we get done with the other thing. But free entertainment. And how long will they play?
They'll play until 4.
4 o'clock.
Yeah.
And then that kind of wraps all the details up of the Charleston Red, White, and Blue Days. And then at night, at the Coles County Memorial Airport, kind of a combination of Mattoon and Charleston folks put on the big fireworks.
Exactly. And by us, ending our activities around 4 o'clock, then people can go home, rest up, and get back out for the fireworks.
Exactly. Works out pretty good.
Yeah.
So for more information, this thing's if you just Google Red, White, and Blue Days or go to Facebook, Red, White, and Blue Days, all that information is there. But is there any specific needs for volunteers or anything security that you need this year for Red, White, and Blue Days?
I think we have our last meeting this week, but our final meeting, I should say, and we we're always in need. If anybody wants to volunteer, has time, we can always use extra help with some security around the stage area. Or when the entertainers come in, which we don't know the times yet, they need help loading their equipment on stage and that sort of thing. We have to be we can't have very many back there because they want their area secure. But anybody wants to volunteer, we'll find something for them to do.
I like Gary. You hear that?
I like that.
There you go.
Yeah.
32 years the Red, White, and Blue Days has been going on.
Yeah.
It's kind of amazing how time, we were talking about before you got here, how time flies for 32 years. Can you give us a little bit of the backstory to the origination and how Red, White, and Blue Days came about here in Charleston?
Well, it ties into the monument because when the initial group, we had some sons that were in the National Guard and that sort of thing. They were activated during Operation Desert Storm. And I know that we just set up a group of parents, or families, I should say, people that were activated and sent overseas for information, because we didn't know what they were doing, but different things we were being told, so we decided we'd have like a little support group. Then when this was over with, we decided it would be nice to have a little celebration at the park, because the president at the time declared July 4th a national day of celebration when the Desert Storm ended. And so we decided we'd have a little celebration and dedicate a monument. So this is how that Desert Storm monument came to be at Morton Park. And so we were trying to exclude anybody else. We just decided that was just for this event. And so we've just had, it took off. I mean, we had people tell us, you can't put together an event in that short a notice, because it ended in May and the celebration was in July, but we did it. And it just it caught on, and we just carried on, and it grew, and
Betty,
here we are.
Betty, wasn't this thing, when it originally started, weren't they going to call it the Petunia Festival at one time?
Oh, that was a thought, but not, because that was when they were doing the petunias. Yeah, I had forgotten that,
Yeah.
but yeah.
There's an information tidbit I've never heard.
Yeah.
That's cool, Gary.
Yeah. I think it was one of the other members came up with Red, White, and Blue Days to make it. I mean, after the first event, then they decided to come up with Red, White, and Blue Days and expand it out to, to more than just one day. But
what are some of the challenges, or maybe the biggest challenges of putting on an annual event so it doesn't become stale and it becomes fresh? I mean, and how do you stay motivated to do that?
I don't know.
I know how she does it. She goes to Florida in the wintertime
Yeah.
to rest up.
Go down there and hibernate.
Very fortunate. Yeah, rest up. No, actually, it's the whole committee that really works on this. I don't know. I enjoy it. I think one of the things that I enjoy is the fact that of all these vendors that we have there, it helps them make money for their charitable causes. We are very fortunate to have some donors that make sure we can have some good entertainment. I've got to give Mike Ziepke credit, because we started out with local bands, and bless their hearts, we just used them the first 2 or 3 years. And some of them donated their time, some, and then he kind of broadened our horizons into these national acts and got us involved with Variety Attractions, who helps us book these national acts. We've had good success with those. Their prices have gone up and up and up, so we're having to kind of watch the budget, so to speak. But
mostly since post-COVID now, I mean, there's such a demand for these acts, so it's tougher to get maybe a bigger name that everybody knows. But I think he did good this year, mostly with Drake Milligan. I think he's pretty well known.
Yeah, and I can't wait to. I mean, his people sound really nice. Have been very nice to work with, and so has Alex Miller's. But it's just fun to watch them come up. And we've had some early on. We had Trace Adkins and that sort of Tracy Bird, way back when they were first starting out.
Yeah.
So kind of fun to watch them materialize, grow.
Continue to go on. Do you do an estimate of how many people go through Morton Park? Have you ever tried to do a counter, or does anybody get guess?
Z always tried, and I don't know how he did it, so we quit when he quit.
Now, Gary, since you're here from
Sure.
the American Legion, what other things do the American Legion do for the community? And we have a few minutes here if you want to talk about that.
Well, we were supposed to have a pancake breakfast on the 4th, but I couldn't get enough people to volunteer to help us do that this year. So we're not going to be able to do that. But next year, good Lord willing, we'll be back doing that again. That had turned into quite a community, not necessarily just the 4th, but just a community event. People come out and sat in the park and visited and everything, and it was a nice thing. I wish we were doing it this year, but just couldn't get the help.
I understand. It's,
And that's another problem too that a lot of these groups come up with. I was talking to another group this morning. I told them about the Moondogs being our entertainment on the 4th. That volunteers, their committees. These organizations are getting smaller and smaller, and volunteers are harder to. A lot of people just don't want to commit. These groups are getting older.
And also, with it being a holiday like that, the 4th of July, a lot of people are on vacations and everything. I know the 4-H used to have a pork chop dinner out there, and they had to quit doing it because they couldn't get help because of the kids were going on vacations and things like that. And it's just tough to get help on a major holiday like that.
It's always better when the 4th of July is either on that Friday or Saturday night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because a Tuesday is tough, but people have to go to work the next day.
That's right.
In some instances too. Betty, you've been doing this for a while. What do people ask you most about Red, White, and Blue Days? Is there stuff they always ask you about that you have to give an answer all the time?
No. Well, some of the like basically what food and what's there to do out there, and that sort of thing. Who the entertainment's going to be. I get that a lot before we finally book an act or whatever. So it's, we just have a.
What about if someone has a great idea? They're a Charleston person, and is the committee and the group open to like, hey, we want to do a whatever?
We have, yes. Oh, by all means.
So what's the
just the
process
way
there?
the car show started. Reach out to any committee member or contact us on any of these, by phone, by email, by however. No, we are absolutely open. That's how the car show started. 3 years ago, a young couple came up and said, "Hey, we want to try it," and by all means, we have someone else wanting to pursue a little Mr. and Miss contest again. We had that for a while, and that just kind of fell by the wayside. There again for lack of somebody to maintain it.
Yeah.
So, sure. Oh, yeah, definitely.
What about park rules so people know what they can and can't do or bring, and then parking as well?
Well, parking, they have bought a few more. There are a few more parking lots around the park now, I understand. And outside of the car show, the car show is going to use those on the 2nd, but on the 1st. But there's parking all around there. You can park at O'Brien Field, and it's a very short walk, just about a block, I think, from the O'Brien Field to the park. Like I say, parking's pretty much available about everywhere. And we just ask that you don't park in a business that's open, trying to do business. Don't take up their parking. They're on. But yeah, parking has not been a problem. And we ask people to bring their lawn chairs. If you bring a pet, it has to be leashed. That's pretty much,
And obviously no alcohol in the park.
no alcohol, right?
There
right.
you go. A few minutes left. We're talking today with folks from the Red, White, Blue Days and Gary Grounds and Betty Coffrin. Other things that you want to get out? We have a few minutes left before we go into the world famous 8 questions that I know Betty loves. So.
I'd like to make a
Yes,
comment. I would like to encourage people to come out and support the vendors that are in the park because they're all nonprofits in there, and if they don't support them, we won't have them next year. So, come out and support them. They're all good, worthy organizations.
Yeah, that's the cool thing about the way this was set up, that everybody benefits, from the different organizations by going out there. So it was very good of you to talk about that, Gary. One other thing I want to ask you, and I'm going to go cheat sheet, look at my notes over here. Oh, on the committee, is there committee openings? Is it a set committee of like 7-9 people, or can you have more people if somebody wants to get involved?
The more the merrier. We take anybody. They're more than welcome to join us. If you we have a meeting Wednesday night at the Charleston VFW, 6:00. Come on out.
All right, anything else, Betty, before I ask these questions? I know you love every
No.
year so much, but I had to do it because it's tradition, right?
It is. It is.
And you get to answer today too, Gary, okay?
Okay.
Oh yeah, you can give Z's answer.
There you go.
Okay.
So we'll go ladies first. All right, the first one's pretty easy. Favorite ice cream flavor?
Vanilla.
Vanilla.
All right. Are you going to go anywhere for a summer vacation this year?
Yes, we're going out to Colorado,
Okay.
where I grew up.
Nope, I'm
No
staying
summer.
in Charleston.
All right. Do you have a favorite song?
No, I like all of them. I really do. I like it different. Blues. I like blues. I like country. I like everything. So.
Favorite song?
I don't think I have a favorite one, but I prefer the country and country.
I didn't know
rock.
you played music till today. So what is your? Do you have you love to play country more? Do you have a favorite country song to play? Putting you on the spot.
Easy ones.
Easy.
I like to play easy ones.
See, and I learned something today because I didn't know you. What do you
Yeah.
play?
You mean
Yeah. What instrument?
I play several of them. I've got
Oh,
I have a-
Multi-talented. There you go.
have a
All these
recording.
years, I had no idea.
All right. Maybe the toughest question of the world famous 8 questions today. Advice for first timers coming to Charleston's Red, White, and Blue Days.
Bring your lawn chairs. Come early. Be understanding. If you come early and set your lawn chair in place, understand they're still setting up the stage and the sound and that sort of thing. So be ready to maybe have to move your chair back a little bit, but no, just come and enjoy. Support our vendors and just relax and have fun.
Right.
Gary,
I'll back that up. Support the vendors and come to have a good time.
are you a cat or a dog person?
Oh, dog person.
Dog.
Good answers. Favorite president, since we're talking kind of patriotic stuff. Do you have a favorite president?
Favorite president?
Yeah. George Washington, Abraham. I mean,
Yeah, well, if I were to say, it'd probably have to be. I got a pet, a stuffed animal, and I named it Ike. I don't know why, that I named it Ike when I was so young, but yeah, Ike Eisenhower. I just picked one.
I'll go with Lincoln. I like Lincoln.
That's a good one this day to do, yeah. You have a favorite movie? And if it's patriotic, that's even better, or a war movie or something like that?
Well, some of my favorite phrases came from fried green tomatoes. Yeah, so yeah.
I don't know
Tawanda.
Don't know that I have a favorite one, but I saw a great one this year that I didn't know very much about. It's called the Jesus Revolution. I don't know if you remember hearing about that or not.
I've heard it.
Starring Kelsey Grammer, but it was about when I didn't know much about it because I was overseas at the time, but they were referred to as Jesus freaks out there. But it was a lot of things that were going on out in California and everything that I really wasn't aware of till I saw that movie, and it
don't
was
think I've
just
heard
really
of that.
held my
Yeah,
held my
Well, we're out of
attention.
time. I thank you so much, Gary. Good to meet you, or good to see you again. It's been a while.
Yeah.
And Betty, as always, every
As
year.
always,
So
always.
it's good. Too bad
Yeah,
Z couldn't
love
make it
it.
today.
Yeah.
Charleston Red, White, and Blue Days coming up. It is June 29th through July 4th. We're
Right.
WEIU. Everybody have a great day.